We all know virtualization is amazing, right? It gives us this incredible flexibility. But when it comes to really demanding AI workloads, that flexibility, it comes with a hidden cost. It's a performance hit called hypervisor overhead. Today, we're going to unpack exactly what that is and why getting a handle on it is so crucial for making smart decisions about your AI infrastructure.
Okay, before we dive in, just a quick but really important heads up. This is Module 5 of a 10-part series. It's an overview based on a super detailed report from Virtualization Options LLC, and it's meant for general guidance only. This isn't financial or legal advice, so we always recommend you chat with your own pros before taking any action. And keep in mind, we're only scratching the surface here of what's in the full report.
All right, so here's the game plan for today. We're going to start with what I like to call the virtualization tax. Then we'll break down exactly where that performance is getting lost in the stack. After that, we'll zoom in on the big one, the GPU penalty. Then we'll look at some hard numbers and finally wrap it all up with the key takeaways you need to remember. Let's get into it.
So, let's talk about this virtualization tax. For the last 20 years, virtualization has pretty much been the MVP of IT infrastructure. But for these heavy-duty AI jobs, its greatest strength, that amazing flexibility, comes with a performance price tag that we really need to understand.
And this really brings us to the core question, the big one we're tackling today. What is the true cost of virtualizing your AI workloads? And we're not just talking dollars here. We're talking about raw performance, about latency, and ultimately about how fast you can get your projects done.
The culprit has a name, hypervisor overhead. The easiest way to think about it is that the hypervisor is a middleman. It sits between your virtual machine and the actual hardware, translating and managing every single request. And that job, well, it takes work. It eats up CPU cycles, memory, and I/O bandwidth that your AI application could have been using. That's the performance penalty right there.
So if performance is leaking out, where are the leaks? Let's do a little forensic work and dissect the whole stack, layer by layer, to see exactly where our performance is getting chipped away.
The performance hits come from 4 main spots: the CPU, the memory, I/O and storage, and of course, the big one for anything AI, the GPU. Each one of these adds its own little tax, but as you're about to see, they really start to pile up. First up, let's talk CPU overhead. This happens because the hypervisor has to schedule all the virtual CPUs. Now, for the main training task that's hammering the GPU, the impact here is honestly pretty minimal. But, and this is an important but, it can slow down all the crucial prep work like data preprocessing. You can't just ignore it. Next is memory. The hypervisor is constantly playing traffic cop, translating memory addresses between the virtual machine and the physical RAM. This process can add a 2 to 5% overhead. Now, that might not sound like a huge number, but it directly affects how fast your AI model can load those gigantic datasets, and that's a huge part of the whole process.
Then you've got I/O overhead. Every time your VM needs to talk to the network or the storage, it goes through a virtual adapter, and that adds a tiny bit of latency. For training jobs that are constantly reading data or saving checkpoints, those little bits of latency start to add up into real, measurable delays.
Okay, that was the opening act. Now let's get to the main event, the GPU. For AI, this is where your virtualization choices have the absolute biggest impact. We're going to look at the 2 main ways to do it, vGPU, or virtual GPU, and GPU pass-through. Let's put them head to head. GPU pass-through is simple. You give one entire physical GPU to one single virtual machine. It's theirs, all theirs. That means you get performance that is almost identical to bare metal. vGPU, on the other hand, is all about sharing. It's a clever way to slice up one physical GPU so multiple VMs can use it. The catch? You get a ton of overhead from the constant switching between those VMs. And this table really tells the whole story. Just look at that first row, performance overhead. Bare metal is our baseline, our perfect score of 0. Pass-through adds a tiny, almost unnoticeable 1 to 3% hit. But then look at vGPU, a 5 to 15% performance penalty. Ouch! Now drop your eyes down to training suitability. You see why vGPU is rated poor for those heavy training jobs. You get cool features like VM migration, but man, you pay a steep price in performance.
All right, so we've been talking about why this happens. Now let's talk about how much. Let's actually quantify this performance hit with some real-world benchmark numbers. This is where it gets real.
Check this out. This is a standard training benchmark. On the left, bare metal sets the bar at 100%. In the middle, GPU pass-through is right on its tail at 98%, practically the same thing. But then, look at the bar on the right for vGPU. Even when it's dedicated to just one VM, performance drops to 88%. That's a 12% chunk of your expensive hardware's power that just vanished into thin air.
And it gets even more dramatic when you dig in. With vGPU, you can see up to a 17% drop in memory bandwidth. For AI models that are all about moving huge amounts of data, that's like trying to drink a milkshake through a tiny coffee stirrer. It is a massive bottleneck.
And what about latency, responsiveness? This number is just, wow, an 82% increase in inference latency with vGPU compared to bare metal. For any real-time application, that kind of delay is a complete non-starter. It shows you the cost isn't just about total throughput. It's about how fast you get an answer back.
Okay, let's pull all this together. We've seen where the overhead comes from. We've looked at the pretty scary numbers. So what are the most important things you need to walk away with?
If you remember one thing from this whole explainer, make it this. It's a compounding effect. These little performance hits from the CPU, the memory, the I/O, they don't just add up, they multiply. A 5% hit here and a 15% hit there can easily snowball into a total performance loss of 20–30% or even more. And that's especially true when you have lots of VMs all fighting for the same resources.
And that leads us to our final thought. The point of all this is not to say that virtualization is bad. It's an incredibly powerful tool. The goal is to be strategic. So knowing what these costs really look like, the big question you have to ask yourself is, how will you balance the need for performance with the desire for flexibility in your own AI infrastructure? That's the key takeaway.